You know what time it is. It's that motherfucking time. Haze 3.0. The JBD Factory. The Dream Factory. Chilling like Bob Dylan. And I gotta say, I went to this event that we had with some of the guys that work with us. And we're totally stoked. I've gone to a lot of dispensaries and we do a lot of stuff with Jason. But this time I was like so shocked because he never even said anything about INYO Dispensary. Really fucking cool dispensary. We got to go up to and do a recording. They were helping promote the dispensary and promote JBD. And they had a glass blower. I believe Cowboy was blowing glass and everything else. And then, look at you like close up to the mic. I got Lance. What's up, my brother?
What's up? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. So, born and raised in Vegas or no?
Born and raised local, man. I'm a native.
Yeah. Native. That's like
East Side Las Vegas, man.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I lived in Vegas for over 20 years, so I get to give myself somewhat street credit because half of my life or most of my life spent in Vegas. Grew up in New York on the East Coast, but always loved the city. You know. I'm 50, so can I ask how old you are or no?
38.
38, yeah. So
86.
Yeah, so 86. So you know for a fact how rough Vegas was before cannabis.
100%.
I mean, if you got caught with a seed back in the 90s, you were fucked.
Yeah, no,
even a fucking seed, you were fucked.
It was just a different ball game. I mean,
right?
Just like you said, a seed. A lot of times, though, I mean, the more honest you were about it, so like cops would make you step
because
on your weed.
They knew how severe it was. They knew like, wow, I can fuck your life up so bad
over a seed,
over a fucking seed in your car. Take your car, take your money, take your account.
You just ruin your life. I mean, and especially,
gangster.
I mean, if you were a kid back then, you know, we were probably teenagers when we first started it, so it wasn't as big a deal if you got busted.
Yeah.
But as you went into that, just getting out of high school. You got to get a job, you know.
Shit, yeah.
No, yeah. So having any sort of marijuana on you was a thing. You know, you were just worried about getting popped for it.
Like a plague. But while this is happening in the 90s and going on to, early 2000s, California legalized for medicinal, I think in 92, 91, 92.
It was early 90s.
Early 90s. So now you had this one state where so many people from California, I mean, millions of people from California came next door to the state next door, fucking bordering, to come gamble, to come have a good time.
It's the city of sin, so you got a lot of fun here.
And of course, they're going to have their herb with them. You 100%. Know what I mean? Because in Cali, it's medical. Oh, we can get it. It's medical. It doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. And then you come to Cali and you get in fucking big trouble.
It's true.
Coming on vacation.
Well, I can remember, like, about the time I was getting out of high school, say 2004 to 2006. I actually had met a guy up in the Bay Area. So that's when it was really hot then, you know.
Oh, they had
medical.
They had the third floor of this, all up in Oakland.
Here, weed maps, you'd look at it, and there was
nothing.
A couple warehouses. It was so sketch, man.
Oaksterdam.
I don't even know if it was real.
And then there was a period where they were allowing medical dispensaries before it was like just starting. After there was a few years of having patients that they started registering in the state, and there was about 80 dispensaries that opened up to just thinking, oh, I could just open up. Do you remember this?
Yeah, so it was kind of the Wild Wild West.
It was kind of like started to be a Wild Wild West. But then on one day, literally one day, they raided every single place that decided to still be open and take all those motherfuckers down.
They did. They basically came in and wanted to prove a point.
They want to say, this is not like Cali, motherfuckers.
Nah, a lot of other states are like that.
If you don't go through the process, very mafia, I would say, like process in a sense, because, there's only so many licenses. In Cali, there's thousands.
Thousands. A lot of the other states, Oklahoma, same
when
thing.
Nevada, when Nevada first opened, I think they only allowed 50 in the whole state, right, or something like that, or 60.
60, I believe. Yeah, it might have even been less than that. It wasn't
less than that. And still to this day, now that Nevada went recreational, right? And what year was that?
Recreation was 2017. It was July.
Yeah, 2017, right? So, wow.
And I had been in
7 years gone by already.
I started in March 2016, so I was about
That's when you got into
just
it.
over a year into it. And all of a sudden they flipped it. We were
and then all of a
wreck.
sudden, boom, wreck. And then the
yeah.
laws, everything got so much more lax. People aren't getting crazy busted.
Really,
you know.
in those medical days, it was
medical was tough.
We maybe seen 50 max a day.
And in California, there were millions of registered patients. In Nevada, you had to go through a fucking crazy process with the doctor approvals.
Yes.
You had to register at the DMV.
Because it actually came like
you
a
had
DMV
to be
card.
registered and get your own medical marijuana driver or license that looked like a fucking license.
It was a license.
It was a real license.
Yeah,
it looked like your driver's license, but it said medical marijuana on
a
it.
different color. It looked just like
Different
your driver's
color. Yeah,
license.
exactly. Just like a driver's license. And like, who the fuck wanted to register like that? Like, especially when it wasn't. It's still even right now. It's not legally, and that's what people were.
They're scared.
So only maybe 1,000, 2,000 people, whatever it was. I was one of the patients. I actually was one of the first ones to sign up because I saw how much protection was given in California. So I was like, well, if I'm going to do it here and it's so severe here, then why not fucking become a patient? You know,
I really think in the beginning that's what it's about. You have to open up that.
Now they got rid of that whole program.
Well,
right? Now
eventually
it's like
medical dies off, but in the beginning they
yeah.
open that up because that's what makes the state susceptible to it. They'll start taking it in.
Yeah, just start taking it in.
So, and then once you get a few people that are interested in medical, they're like, hey, like, I mean, there's obviously some interest, but I think more Nevada being just so strict on all of its laws, people are just scared, you know, even to sign up.
Yeah.
Even to this day now.
Even to this day, people are scared.
They don't want to
absolutely.
They won't even want their ID checked in, and we're just doing it for age.
Oh yeah,
it's not going in a system. There's just people that will come in and they swear that it's getting sent to the government.
Now Oregon and other states, though, it is going into a system.
Yeah, I just know in Nevada it's not. I'm not sure.
So those who are trying to understand when you go on vacation, you're totally great and anonymous in Las Vegas. Passport,
100%.
Driver's license, whatever.
Well, and then they're not connected. So dispensary to dispensary, license to
nothing.
license.
Yeah.
There's no connection
There's
there.
Zero. Let's give a shout out to Vlasic. We got some Lemonade, which is one of the top shelves over at INYO, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a fire one.
Yeah, you guys
we definitely got this one in stock right now, too.
Yeah, what you guys are very great to embrace the Vlasic brand, which I've gone to their facility. I definitely say they're one of the top, definitely in the top echelon of growers in Nevada.
I'll say this. I agree with that statement. And I think what a lot of people deal with is they come from, California as an example.
Yeah.
They've been growing weed out there for 20 years.
Yeah.
And, the climate's different. It's a totally different environment. You come to the desert and it is not the same. There's a lot of dialing in. There's a lot of time it took. So I want to say it almost took 10 years for everybody to start perfecting to where it's at now.
Now, you got heat.
But you got people like Vlasic,
who they just came into the gate. But that's because the Willie has been in the industry in,
He's got the passion for it.
in Michigan. Has the experience, has the growers.
Bringing the passion, the Michigan
and
roots.
He loves the herb. He loves good weed. He doesn't want anybody not to have good weed. And he also wants to put it, depending on what tier, to also have affordable. He has other brands. There's Hustler's Ambition.
Well, by giving him the full reins
giving
to run
everybody
it,
the full reins to run it.
That helps because he gets to see all the way through. So
plus he didn't cheap out. Like you guys like don't, like you gotta understand, like, people raise money, they invest. They're going to, build a 50,000 square foot facility. You're going to have 1,000 lights or more in that place.
Well, coming out of the box,
you're going to have in the desert when it's 120.
That's kind of what it is.
Fucking degrees out. Do you know how hot these buildings could get?
Well, and over the years,
and then you have all those lights. Yeah,
you see the results in the summertime. So the results differ in the summertime. It doesn't matter how good you are. You're controlling your climate.
Not Willie, because you're pimp. Because you spent
Willie came in hot.
$1.5 million, $2 million just on air conditioning. Like,
and there might be, in my opinion,
new,
maybe 3 brands that came out the box that hot.
That was that good.
Because it's just like I said, it's a process. The trial and error to grow in the desert
was dank.
Yes.
First run was dank.
Well, and even me, I went lighter on the order because I'm like, man, okay, it's all this talk. I can see it in the grow. It looks great, but it's that final product that matters. And
he's smacking.
Well, it's the cure in the packaging. I mean, there's a lot of hands from
he's slapping everyone.
They are, man.
It's like, and triple tier and this. And like I said, he's trying to be very affordable. Like right now, you're a new company. You have a lot of money that you have to, really kind of get in and get the orders. But they're always sold out. They're literally always, their whole place is sold out.
I just got a menu today, and I just received, yesterday.
Yeah.
And the fact that I ordered on it within less than 24 hours, and most of the menu was already gone. I got lucky to get some of it. So the Velasic stuff, everybody's definitely fighting to have in their shop, and they created that clout right from the beginning.
He's slapping Redwood.
It's Willie. It's back to what you said. Yeah. When you got people that stand behind it, that like Willie, that actually care about it, they know cannabis, they know weed. He's just in, man, and he's all in.
Wait till he puts out brand. Like, he's just like, flexing.
Well,
this is just a Velasic
obviously, coming from Velasic family, they got money. So when money's not involved and you see that the passion's involved, you really see what it does for something like someone like Velasic. Very cool.
The most humble, under 30-year-old cannabis entrepreneur that I have ever met. I got to give props to him.
I didn't know he was 30. I knew he was a little younger than me.
He's younger than that, but I'm just saying hasn't been 30.
I would have guessed around that, 28, 30.
He's 28.
Yeah, something like that, huh?
Unbelievably, the most humble dude, family, super humble. And, like I said, just when you love something so much and you have money that I'm going to spare no expense. Like, they have this molds read me some fucking wild giant. I mean, the thing was like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
The machine.
The machine that can detect the moment there's any even spore or fucking anything in the fucking place.
Environment, yes.
In the environment. And could go.
Yeah, immediately alarms are going off. Like it don't make it to the point of even.
They're not even like.
Red alert, real quick.
Dead. Kill it. Ready. Don't even get to it's like second a day.
It's true. It's a very elaborate, super high tech.
Is because people fuck up their crops and they get that and it doesn't pass. And then you lose how much insane money when you're trying to afford that building and this and the taxes and fucking everything. Way more than other businesses have to pay as a dispensary. You don't get to write off all other legitimate fucking businesses.
280E, man, that's our biggest thing right now. That 280E for sure.
But, when it is descheduled and, federally and banks can accept it and all this stuff, I think that they'll be a little bit more sensible on taxation.
Yeah, and you've got, once every single state, we're getting to a point where all states are opening up to it, and even some of the ones that were just no way, never going to happen, even they're starting to be open to it.
No. Because why? Because it doesn't hurt anybody. A lot of people are drinking less alcohol, which definitely has a different type of effect.
Smoking cigarettes, too. So when you look at
smoking
statistics.
Cigarettes, all these statistics go down, 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 down.
You know where it's going.
Opioid addiction
down
by 30 to 40%.
Wow, that's a high number.
In every state that went rec.
Wow.
Everyone.
Well, you have to make it obtainable. So that's the other thing with a brand like Velasic coming in with, very hot, super good flower, top shelf. They came out the box top shelf.
You got some great brands.
I'm able to price it at $48 out the door.
Oh yeah, sure.
So you're not talking a $67 eighth that some of these other big brands ask for.
That is one of the also
price point, man.
Reason why Willie is the ultimate pimp, because he wants everyone to smoke good weed and not be fucked up by the price. So he'd rather lose 20% of his profit than rather have the volume and rather have everybody in town.
Volume will speak numbers. You got to get it out there.
You know?
Well, it's one thing even I've noticed at our shop. So you can carry some of those top strains, and of course you want to have it. You got connoisseurs. You got everybody that's after the best of the best. So you got those, but you also have people that come in and they may see stuff on the menu like that they can't afford, and it's almost offensive in a way.
Yeah.
So you start making it at a good price point.
Yeah.
Weed still isn't losing that quality.
No.
So, a lot of times price point comes down, the quality's changed or something.
Yeah, no.
It's not the case.
I
stand behind it.
A lot of people, I hope it actually.
I actually just reordered today. It's funny. So I did my order.
Nice.
And I was out of the muffin strain. Muffins? Yeah.
Patrick,
yep, through Patrick. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was here yesterday.
Yep. So
he's the one who just dropped that shit.
Oh, yeah.
off.
Patrick's dope.
Yeah,
so I just placed my order, actually. That was the one that he hit me back, and it was already almost
Have you had
slim.
a pop-up yet with Las
Oh, yeah.
Vegas?
Oh, yeah, regularly.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. That's good.
We're having the regular pop-ups.
That's
We're
dope,
doing the sales, the promotions. I really wanted to work with them. And honestly, before Vlasic came, I cut out most of the top shelves. And it ain't because it's good weed.
Yeah.
It's because it was too expensive. My people couldn't buy it.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing it move. I'm seeing them go back to volume.
Yeah.
So it was better to have, something that maybe B plus, A minus.
Sure.
And still get the job done.
Yeah, no.
And it's good weed.
Yeah.
So, but when you can start stepping into that A plus and having it below $50, I'm talking tax included. This ain't tax plus tax.
Yeah.
48
that's
out the door.
Great deal.
You're killing it. And
That's
to
a
me,
great deal. And
I'm a consumer.
It's
so
fire.
if I walked in and I walked out with that eighth for 48, I'd be happy. And that's what matters.
You know how many? The way I look at it too, because I've been doing it for at least 25 years now, something like that, more than that, and you see all the different. Oh, it's X, THC. It's this high THC. When you look at the buds, you look for what gets you high is not the actual leaf; it's the crystals.
For sure. It's them trikes.
So if that nug, I don't care what percentage it is filled with tons of trichomes, and the one next to it even says it's higher THC and it doesn't, well, I'd go for the one with all the trichomes. And the one thing about Vlasic, for sure, is they got some snowy,
like this one, man.
Snowy ass.
You can't really see it on camera, but man, we're talking frosty, snowed out.
Yeah, you can see all the crystals.
It's snow day around here with Vlasic.
Yeah, you're going to get it. And, let's not just isolate one. There's a lot of great national brands that are out that are trying to be competitive. So you guys have a lot of Stizzy, right?
Stizzy's been doing really well at the shop. I think a lot of that helps with the LA following.
Yeah, it is a massive LA
It's
following.
huge, so huge in LA that at this point, why would you not
you have to just to do it.
Well, so my thing is this: there's Nevada brands here.
Like, I forgot my Stizzy. I need another one.
And they were able to market. The difference in California and Nevada is they were able to advertise and actually get their names out there. Here, we've got a lot stricter regulation back to Nevada and our laws.
Yeah.
It's harder to market. A lot of Nevada bands ain't well known out there.
Yeah.
So you take someone like Steezy, someone like Wild, someone like Kana.
Okay, so Wild
national brands, you know what I mean? So these ones are more West Coast.
Wild is everywhere.
100%. So
we were talking about.
And they were able to market.
Yeah. Well, they're smart. They give a lot of free samples to people.
That too. So the more that they're able to promote it, give out the samples, they're in Washington, Oregon, California, those states that are letting them get out there.
So Atrium, because Cali's different. You're allowed to give so many samples and all these things, and it's not really a big deal to be frowned upon by doing it because there's a lot of patients or people in need and people that, you help the store stimulate business by giving them free stuff so people could try it before they buy it. So, Wild gives so much stuff and companies give out in Cali that like Atrium, shout out to them, is one of the larger dispensaries we have in Cali.
Have to check it out.
Yeah, it's monstrous. It's in Woodland Hills. And they have a baller. It's called the Baller Bag Day. You should think about this.
Baller Bag Day, huh?
Yeah, it's every third Saturday.
Okay.
And if you spend $200 in the store, you get this baller bag that's got 20 to 30 Wild, all those companies give 300 because they literally sell over 300 of them that day. Okay. So do the math, right? Wow. If they spend 200 and then
it starts adding up pretty quick. It's a good multiplier
to fucking roll in.
No doubt.
To get a bag of free samples, but they give you $400 worth of shit. Easily. You're putting it out and you're like, wow.
The bag for the $200 value. Your winning is worth it.
Yeah.
That's why people buy the $200 value.
Yeah.
So they're making it worth their while.
And then the store just rang up 80,000 or 100,000 that day. It's a good fucking day.
So the store wins, the customer wins, everyone's winning.
You know what I'm saying? And they're coming in every motherfucking thing.
That dispensary, though, has got to be seeing, thousands a day.
More, yeah. No, thousands.
You know what I mean? So now you're talking a super multiplier.
Yeah. So, and then they just run out. Probably there's way more people that want it, but everybody's there from the early fucking morning, on a line out the door on Saturday.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, they're waiting for that because they know, like you said.
I did it. Yeah.
You spend the $200.
Even myself, I did it, bro.
You're going to win back double what you just spent.
We had an office right there in Woodland Hills, man. I would just walk down myself.
Baller bag by Atrium.
Yeah, I would never pay because we get all shit for free all the time.
Damn.
And that's the only time I'd go in and pay because I'd be like, dude, how do they give you that much shit?
Well, it's kind of like reverse couponing, and that way you ain't saving off the top, but you're gonna be able to win double what you just spent. I mean, if you're saying the bag ultimately is worth $400 value,
easy.
So you're spending your $200 you normally want to spend anyways, and you're basically putting yourself.
Wild
up.
Was in it every month.
It makes sense.
Every month, certain brands every month was.
That's a power play.
Yep,
I like it. I definitely have to check them out.
You know, you gotta look at like certain stuff you have to dump because like Cali or whatever has regulations, and it's like however many weeks or whatever before. Then why not give it away for free or do something like that?
Do they have to? Too? Can they actually do it free, or they have to penny it like we do here? Because it has to actually have some sort of sale amount.
They can do free because you already spent a certain amount probably.
So they're not taxing them on that one item if they're not.
No.
Oh, that's nice because they're taxing us here
on the other initial
100%.
order, and this is a free VIP gift for coming in on that day.
Yeah, here we would have to run it at least a penny. So you wouldn't be able to
who give a fuck? Anybody buy a penny?
I know it's the same thing. I mean, you're just saying
shit.
But
if you had 300, then you would just take 300 pennies yourself, $3 worth,
eat that.
and eat it.
No, you would eat. We do that. That's what we do in INYO.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, we have lots of things. All the penny giveaways you're eating.
Yeah,
but
fuck yeah.
It's never going to be a zero balance drawer. It's always going to be a few pennies off because everyone's running their promotion.
You started the store from opening?
No, so
tell me your whole transition.
So basically, go back to that. So INYO Fun Cannabis, they opened in September 2015. They were the second store in town to open. Actually, before us was Euphoria Wellness, so they were number one.
Okay.
And then back then it was medical. There was a few growers. Might have been, I don't know, AMA, GLP, Mother Herb. It's kind of hard to even remember. It's been so long.
Sure.
But the thing is, they opened 2015. There was only so much weed available. So it's one thing you can open, but now there's only so much weed to buy.
Yeah.
So those first few dispensaries, the handful, 10, 15 of them, they're all fighting to get that weed because open or not, if you don't have nothing to sell.
And not a lot of people were growing at the time.
So those beginning stages, I wasn't there. I actually joined in 2016. So still medical. They were about 8 months in. So March of 2016, I joined.
Sure.
I actually just started out in the
Still
back.
a long time, 8 years.
8. I'm going on 9. So we're talking here. 3 more months will be 9 years. So it has been a journey.
When you first started, tell me.
So I first started, I was just inventory and really from the jump and knew nobody. I actually got referred the job.
You're like, wow, man, what is this? I'm working.
So I was at Home Depot before, and I loved it. It was good. Yeah, bro. Home Depot it up. Plumbing department, come and see.
Get a little stock as an employee.
Definitely, man. That rubber smell used to smell like marijuana, and I always blamed the marijuana I was smoking on the rubber. But
that's funny.
I would. They come in, they'd be like, Motar? Trying to smell. I'm like, that's a rubber. But so anyway, I got referred by a couple people that I was working with at Home Depot. They basically were looking for someone inventory at INYO. I had 2 referrals, which a lot of people, one referral is big, so to get 2 people saying that they need you, I got the interview.
Wow, that's great.
So it was Alex, who was a cashier that I had worked with, and she actually worked at the front, and then another one in guard, and this dude Chris. They both referred me, so I ended up getting in there. But I started out inventory. And because at Home Depot, I was inventory specialist. So my job was to start coming in the back and basically itemize inventory.
Yeah.
The same way you would do like Home Depot with the bays.
Now I got to do for a week.
But the difference was I used to do 20,000 SKU aisles, and you're talking
only not that much.
Yeah, 50 or 100 items. So
you're like, this is such a dope job. Were you making as much money as Home Depot starting or no?
More.
More.
So, more.
So more.
Yeah, so back then, Home Depot, man, they were trying to cap me. It was $11.25. It was nothing.
Yeah, so now you get this job, whatever.
So this job comes, I get referred.
You're in the back.
They're talking about it through the grapevine. Everybody's going to get working at the weed shop. And I'm like, the weed shop. I'm perking my ears. I'm like, okay, this sounds like an opportunity. So I always was having my ears up when they were talking this. I didn't know I was going to get referred. And what do you know? I get referred.
Wow.
Kind of a weird thing that I knew it was kind of going on. And I get dropped on that I got an interview. So I get the interview, of course, with my inventory background, my experience, they want me. So I get hired in the interview first shot. So they don't call me back. They don't. In that interview, her name was Adele. She was the manager. She was very strict, by the way, too, man.
Shout out to Adele.
Shout out to Adele for sure. She definitely gave me the interview, held her ground, and she was strict from the jump. So owners didn't even know this more recently. I just told them. But I was actually almost fired in my first week.
Wow.
So first week fired. We're talking 9 years in now. I'm the GM. So that's pretty wild to think that, you literally could lose it in that moment. And I've held it now for almost 9 years. So.
And that in itself is very commendable. Mm-hmm. A lot of people unless you're like a teacher, you know what I mean, or like a doctor or this or that. Like, you know, how many people in a retail situation stay with a company or want to be with a company or be happy with a company or be taken care of, or
No doubt.
it hasn't sold out? Like, that's fucking legendary.
No, yeah, definitely shout out to David Goldwald and Chris Olsen, man. It's the ownership. It's the people behind it that matter. So
a decade of your life that you got to.
So a decade of my life in, and I'm still loving it every day. Go there with a smile. But we'll back it up. So
yeah, sure.
Inventory.
Obviously,
I get back in my inventory, and then first week I almost get fired. I get pulled into the lunchroom, and it's by Dell, of course, because she's the manager. Dell pulls me in the lunchroom, and she's like, at the time Eddie was the manager in the back, so he was the inventory manager. And he basically had told the manager, his mother, that I was overstepping him. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
So, which kind of makes sense. I mean, he's the manager there. I'm a nobody. I came from nowhere. Then I'm over here trying to tell people what to do. So, but it comes natural to me. I'm a guy. I'm a problem solver. So, it's just natural to me. And when I see things that we're doing either double, 2 times, whatever it is, I'm like, there's a better way.
There's a better way.
I always just have a suggestion. So, I wasn't necessarily trying.
You liked to be efficient.
100%.
You don't like people wasting efficiency.
That, and then back to why I was hired. I came from inventory background. My whole purpose here is to show us how to do some inventory. So I'm going to bring some stuff to the table. Like, so maybe it was too early. So in that moment, she's basically telling me like they're going to let me go, and it's not going to work out. And I look her right in the eye, and I said, Adele, and I said, I'm going to take a back seat, and I said, I'm going to step back, and just know from this moment on, I said, I'm going to let Eddie run his back room. But just know when the opportunity comes and the time is right, I said, my ways and my inventory background is going to step in this picture, and you guys are going to love it, and it's going to change this place forever. And I said, that's basically it. And she looked at me and she said, you can keep your job. And I said, well, like, you know what I mean? So in that moment, that's make or break, like, especially for this time period.
Make or break.
I don't know where my last 10 years would be at this point,
Vegas is a right to work state.
Well, so really just having
they
that.
They could just be like, no reason, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, it's that. It is a right to work. So, you can just get cut off. Then, it is what it is. So, in that moment, that's make or break for me. I could have said the wrong thing, and all this goes away. Everything to this point.
Could you imagine?
So, she takes me back in, and that's what I did. So, from then on, kind of took a back seat in inventory, didn't try to overstep Eddie.
And how long did it take before she realized that your resources were necessary?
Quick.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a few months.
I was in that position, so for inventory, not even for a year. Because so basically, I don't know, a few months in, Eddie was liking it. He was doing a great job, and he still stayed the manager. A marketing opportunity came up for me.
Okay.
So kind of changed directions for me, because originally I was going to start stepping in, doing an inventory thing. Well, at the time, everybody's just spending a lot of money. Everybody's signing red checks. Nobody's really making money. Marketing's just getting paid, a whole bunch. So they're trying to cut the budget. So we were like, all right, we're going to cut marketing. And they wanted me to step into the marketing spot.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, I'm a tech guy.
They realized all those giant billboards or magazines and shit were just a big fucking waste.
The magazines for sure, especially
the magazines they were. Yeah,
it's just you know what I mean. So, but
they fucking
So they looked at it more as they asked me for the opportunity. Do you want to learn marketing, and do you also want to still keep a foot in inventory?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So more or less, I looked at it as opportunity to grow right away.
Bam.
And this was February of 2018. So no. Sorry, I started 2016, so this would have been the following year, February 2017, right before we went rec.
Okay.
So February 2017, I actually sit down with marketing guy. I peel everything off of him. He actually gets hired somewhere else, so it wasn't like a bad disconnect. They got him a job at Dell. He went to Dell. I slid into marketing. So I start learning marketing. Well, I'm a tech guy. I like, technology, computers, software. I've always been a computer guy. So it was right up my alley. So learn marketing, learn social medias, things that were kind of new back then. You had to do it was a little different. And then being behind cannabis regulation, there was a lot to learn, because
you guys have an Instagram and stuff like that? Or
we do have a social Instagram, definitely. But
shout it out for people.
So I believe it's INYO LV. I'm not sure if there's a dash at the end. INYO LV. Yeah, it should be. If you just type INYO on Instagram, we're the one that comes up.
Because for you stoners out there that I know are all stoner, you're like, Is that an E or an I?
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely INYO, like the INYO
in-
Forest or the
in-
INYO train up north in Carson City.
Like the Indo,
But,
baby.
like Indo.
Indo.
But yeah, definitely. So once I stepped into marketing, I started learning some new routes. I kind of got to keep a foot in inventory. But at that time, I wasn't, trying to be manager or anything like that.
Sure.
I was just literally.
Your thoughts were like, this is great.
Well,
This is
the
not
company
too
needs
much
help. Where are you at? I'm here. I show up and I'm like, what do you need done?
And it's enough responsibility without it being too much responsibility,
Yep.
which is the difference.
So I run marketing from February 2017 up until the point of July. We go recreation. So July 1 opens up the doors. We've got a roller coaster line at the door. So back then, medical, we had maximum 50 people on a good day.
That's great.
A regular day was 30s, mid-30s.
Sure.
The slow day was 20s.
Sure.
'Cause it was medical. Like you said, there's 2,000 people.
Yeah. It was
Doesn't
nothing.
mean all of them are even going in and buying. They just went and got
because
the
you
car.
could grow it yourself, and then it was only in between harvests because you were only allowed 6 plants.
That, and you had some people that were grandfathered in. There was all these different little regulations and stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
So once I basically step in, I'm doing the marketing, I'm doing the inventory. July 1 comes, roller coaster line out the door. I'm just being me. I'm doing normal shit. Doesn't matter if it's helping with the register, helping with the line, running customer service. I'm literally just working. I don't know I'm being watched. Okay.
Yeah.
Just running the show. I don't know this, but owners next door, they're watching. They told me this story, by the way. They said they had been looking for a manager. They wanted somebody that knew cannabis, knew financials. They're having a tough time kind of finding the in-between, someone that knew both.
Yeah, sure.
Like you could find someone that knew cannabis, you could find someone that knew financials, but you couldn't find both.
Sure.
So they basically, I guess, had a self-conversation. What do you hear what's going on over there? What do you see what's going on? And this is rec, busiest day, line out the door. No one knows how to control this. There's not anyone in Nevada market that's ever controlled this. So I'm sure every dispensary opening that day, same boat.
Had some
All of us were in the same boat.
Sure, yeah,
so now we're opening up now to the public like a 7-Eleven. Like you're talking, people are hyped. Hyped up. We have a Smith's around the corner, and it's far.
Shit.
So we had
I'm
our
get
line
my food,
that
get
wrapped
my
up to
nugs.
Smith's, so people are getting their
Gonna
groceries,
get
their
my
weed.
beer.
It just started a whole new trend.
Like
But me, like I
and
say,
the motherfuckers that can walk to there, damn.
that day, because it's so much madness, you're really not directed in one position. So whether I was inventory,
I'm just
marketing,
saying.
this
But
is all
even-
hands on
Even
deck.
up to today, you
So
probably have great walk-in traffic that just
Oh, yeah.
live right by there that don't even have to
That's
get
what
in
it
the
is.
car.
It's part of the daily routine.
Yeah.
So that's honestly just like a mall would do well with the Sears, the JCPenney's, or used to. And now it's a little different, but they had that main anchor. That's what we see Smith's as. It's the main anchor. So that helps drive in that traffic, and we're going to see more bodies.
Yeah.
But leading into that recreation day, I'm being watched. It's crazy. Like I say, I never really came in with a title. I've always been the way where whatever needs to get done, let's do the job. Let's figure out a way. I've just had that background and that mentality. I'm helping everything. I get pulled, I want to say after Rec 1. I don't know the exact date, but I know by August I was the GM.
Okay.
So somewhere in July, they tell me they want to go to a lunch meeting. And I'm like, a lunch meeting? I'm scared. Like, nah, really, man. I'm nervous because these are two owners. They ain't never pulled no one really to the side like that. And you're telling me they got this book and they're like, we're going to go sit down and have a lunch. And I'm like, what? Like, what did I do? And I know I haven't done nothing, but I'm like, this seems serious. Like, it was a different feeling I've never had before, right?
Yeah. That's cool.
Got to hit this real quick.
Oh, yeah,
a
of
little
course.
elastic in the body.
Yeah, for sure. I feel you. That's why I brought it over today. I don't even bring out the good nugs usually.
Minotti, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So I end up going to this lunch meeting that they call me to. And it was at El Dorado's, actually. So I go to the lunch meeting, and they basically propose to me that they want to give me the reins to the shop. And they say, don't freak out. Don't say yes. Don't say no. Don't make any rash decisions. But they basically explained to me that they know that I don't know financials, and obviously I don't have a college degree.
Yeah.
But they told me the story that when they were watching the day of recreation, and they asked each other, what do you hear over there? And they both said, Lance. Everybody's saying, Lance, help me with it. So I don't know, but they're literally hearing my name fire off a million times in the busiest moment.
Yeah.
So they decide to take a risk with me, no college degree, no background in financials, no business at all.
Sure.
I know weed, though, and I know people.
Of course.
And I come from my customer service background.
Yeah.
So they basically took a chance and hired me as the GM, man. And I stepped in from marketing, slid right into the GM spot by August 1.
That's great. And then all these years been doing your thing.
Well, yeah.
That's
So you're
great.
talking, in the beginning, it was rough because you got to figure we had I don't know, 20 staff back then. And
Sure.
you're talking now, not that we're always going to be equal. So I don't look at it as
with
just
technology and all the other things, you could scale down. You don't need.
Well,
that
more
many.
what I'm saying
Yeah,
is, so in this moment, I got to step up above all of these people.
Yeah, of course.
So now I got to step up and be like, hey, I'm now the boss.
Yeah.
That part was challenging because
Sure.
everyone wants to be the boss. Not everybody's built to be the boss.
Yeah.
I didn't even choose or try to go down the path. It just
But
happened.
universally,
No doubt.
everyone felt that if they were stuck on the island,
Mm-hmm.
you were the leader.
No doubt. So it took a little time. It takes time, but the owners did a really good job bouncing everything back to me, making sure that I was the one that was handling it, making sure that everything was direct, really putting it on me, enough rope to hang myself in a lot of directions. And I made it happen. So
If they had to eat one of the bodies, it wouldn't be you.
definitely not me, man.
you.
I would be the last one eating. The last one eating. But so yeah, and then over these past few years in the beginning, it was learning financials and learning all the stuff about all of our licensing and how you pay the tax, everything
There's
to
so
do
much
with the
shit.
business.
Like, people don't realize there's
It's deep. So in order to run
it's a lot of levels that a normal retail. My family used to own stores ever since I was a kid, video, jewelry, all kinds of shit.
Mm.
And the demands of a normal retail store and the demands of a cannabis store is crazy. It's like there's more regulations on the bud than there is on food.
Oh yeah. Well, and actually, so in the beginning,
Isn't that
it was
crazy?
in the health market. So when actually those first licenses opened up, it was part of the health district.
Oh yeah, no, I remember it was
Yeah,
part of.
so
whatever
that's
it is,
also
and that's
another-
Why, that's
yeah.
why it went through the DMV. and this.
100%.
It was like super.
So because
regulated.
it was in that health
but then
market,
it moved to agriculture.
that, and I think it was like taxation, and then finally,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
CCB was like the fourth one. So it changed hands. I want to say 3-4 times
Yeah,
since
Yeah.
that happened.
yeah.
But yeah, so I've learned the financials, learned the business, trying to absorb all of this over the first couple of years, and then ultimately being in charge of it all. So,
And it's
then-
a dope job.
honestly, I love it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to do
Why
it.
not? Right? Like if you're making enough money these days, like the recession's coming, you got loyalty, and then when that happens, people will always buy weed. It's just like buying alcohol. Even during COVID, more people spent their PPP checks and whatever type of fucking shit.
Yeah.
And they rolled to the dispensary. Like dispensaries were up during COVID. Everything was down. Toilet paper and dispensaries were up like 30-40% or something.
It was
like
hand sanitizer, man. There was
yeah.
some stuff we were chasing in the shop back then that was so hard to get. It should have
Oh
been the
my God.
easiest stuff to get, but yeah.
How funny is that?
But that's kind of it. So I've seen the challenges, of medical market, rolling into that rec market. Everything's a learning curve, and
Yeah.
getting to learn this whole industry as a whole and be a part of it, and then
Yeah.
INYO letting me, kind of run the direction I want. And all of my managers, not just myself, they're wide open. So we're always open to evolve, to change things, to put money into something that's the shop,
Yeah.
because that's how you grow. And
Yeah, and you've got to evolve.
if you
throughout
don't do
the
that, you get
years.
left behind. So they're always
Yeah.
about us being entrepreneurs. We should change it. They support everything that
And
we would do.
You've expanded space-wise.
100%.
It looks like
Yeah,
you weren't so large as you are now.
So in the beginning, we had to split the rooms. It had to be like actual medical, like a doctor's office. So
Yeah.
that front area would have been our lobby, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
had to check in clients, like even the
Sure.
ones in LA or
No,
California
yeah,
were a lot.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no,
Like on
yeah.
Venice Beach, you had to get
Yeah,
checked
no,
in,
always,
stuff like
yeah,
that. Yep.
remember, yeah, of course. Yeah,
So it was that
absolutely.
same style, but
Yeah.
so they built it like a doctor's office. So
Yeah.
2020 happened. Everybody had to shut down. That was the opportunity for us to take that wall down.
And remodel and try
So
to do some
took that
shit
wall
right, yeah.
down, got rid of the doctor's office motto,
Sure,
and you were
sure,
able
sure.
to open up the whole shop as a whole.
It made it look like when you go into a normal store to buy shit.
Exactly. And when it's nice to have the open floor plan, we kind of like that. We don't like you're pinched in a line. It's kind of nice to be able to walk in and have
and
a
now,
space.
And now with the extra space.
Well, now
there's
JB's taken over that
there's
space more recently,
there's
but it's
an homage to Jerome Baker, one of the first glass blowers to make bongs in the U.S. Goes back to the 90s. I remember when there was plastic graphics bongs with a metal bowl, and those are pretty sketchy to health-wise. And then
Yeah.
glass came out from essentially the guys in the Grateful Dead that were blowing pipes and stuff like that. And then Jason recruited one of the most famous guys and started blowing glass in Oregon. And so it's a homage to him and glass blowing, and everybody who enjoys smoking out of a bong. I like a bong because I like water filtration.
I've always liked the bong.
I think it's healthier to smoke through a bong. than it is smoking on joints and paper and all this stuff.
I
And
like joints too, but I've always been the bong guy. It's just been my thing.
You really taste the flavor of the bud, and I don't know, it's just something out of the experience that I've always enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole life I've done that, and that's why I feel like I've been healthier, because I didn't smoke blunts all the time or joints all the time and everything like that. So if you guys get a chance, there's this great part of INYO that has JBD stuff and shows the glass blowing, and you can purchase JBD pieces, which is really great. And then
we actually just became available for sale.
Yeah, and we're down here in the Dream Factory, where there's hundreds of styles. So if you see something or curious about something, or wondering if I can get something made, even, well, just ask at INYO, because they're pretty much a affiliate of Jerome Baker. So go in there and even ask for your own custom piece, because we can have that made for you as well.
Yeah, that's what this is going to lead into. So it's going to be a lot of that. We're also going to be having, hopefully coming up early next year, some on-site things like that, where you can come in and, start out with maybe something like a basic piece of glass and evolve that. You can pick your pieces and kind of put that together. But I'm not going to give all the secrets away.
Collection of stuff,
but we've got some cool ideas coming, definitely, that not only would you be able to have something custom, but have JB there live and, ask questions.
Yeah, we've had JBD's crew pop up with a tent recently, and we did interviews there, and also had glass blowing for people to see. Because that's something that people don't understand, that, you go into the most of the smoke shops in town and you see these cheap pipes that are like $10, $13, things like that. That's because they're made from China in mass production with very cheap glass that you're not too sure of the quality of what is actually in the glass. So you're actually paying for a much cheaper form when you're, buying a JBD or an American-made glass piece. You have guys that are literally here at the Dream Factory that are hand-making every single piece. Nothing is mass production. Whatever you have is going to be different than the other person, and you're never going to see the same exact piece ever. So there's something very cool and unique, and it's made with American glass. So there's a lot of advantages, even though it is more expensive. It is supporting people in your own country, people that are in your own town, that are working hard to make a living and creating something really cool and putting their energy and their good auras into, so you can take it home and really enjoy it.
Honestly, even me, I was surprised just the size of it and how much is actually going on back there. It's definitely an operation, and like you said, everything's going to be unique.
And they're very reasonably priced. Don't think they're that expensive, because a lot of pieces are actually
you have people that invest in glass, so definitely if you're someone that
spend a couple hundred to thousands, really. It just depends on how dope you want to go.
Really, there's entry ones, and it's all the way up is the sky's the limit. I mean, just like you said, it can be custom. So,
and JBD's been around from the 90s. So you go to Facebook and all these different social medias where they actually have JBD glass fan pages. And I know people who have gotten old pieces they smoked out of for years, kept it pristine, cleaned it out, and sold it for what they paid for it a decade ago. Because collectors know how valuable and what glass blower made it and all these other things as well.
It definitely, I don't know, excites me just having a new merge deal, especially the fact that it leads into consumption. So ultimately, consumption lounge should come. And
that'll be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Once you're actually able to smoke on site, I think it really changes the game. It kind of brings the bongs and the whole thing together.
Because then people are like buying stuff, it'll be different. Hopefully they're going to change the laws, but you can't bring stuff. It's separate. Like they have I think the law is so stupid that if next to you is built a lounge, you're allowed to go next door, buy 2.5 ounces, there's whatever you want, and take it out and take it home. But in the lounges here right now, and they need to fix this law, if you buy an eighth or you buy whatever it is in the lounge, if you don't finish it, you can't take it with you.
Can't leave
and then they have to throw it out.
So if you've got someone
that's the stupidest law I've ever heard in my life, but hopefully they'll fix it.
If you've got someone that's a new smoker and you're talking, they have to go over there, and when they buy it, they've got to finish it. So
that's the dumbest thing ever.
I don't even know. On that
you're
side,
allowed to write next to it, take the stuff to take it home. Why can't you take this stuff
that too?
You just bought right there It doesn't make any sense to me.
So literally
And-
on the other side of the fence to be able to buy 2.5 ounces.
And in consumption also means you don't have to just pay for it. People could bring their own weed to show people and to smoke out with. The whole point of a consumption lounge is to be social and to have fun and to network just like you were in a bar. A bar does not restrict you from having fun when you're drinking. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you
there's
can
no
drink
limit.
whatever the fuck you want. No one's policing and figure out, oh, how'd you go? Did you get your car? Did you get a lift? This, that. So why would it be the same for bud? Plus, if you're in a all smoking place and there is no alcohol, do you know how many events I've had and been to that are all weed and no alcohol? People aren't rambunctious cruising around.
Everybody's
No
having a
one's
good
going
time being back
nuts.
to being
Everyone's
social.
fucking relaxed.
It's a bunch of circles.
You might have
everyone's
like you might
talking.
have like half a dozen stoner security guards that aren't even fucking security guards.
Yeah. No
because
doubt.
there is no fist fight. There is
Nah,
no fight.
He's right. The aggression just isn't there. That's for
There is no aggression.
No.
Very little to none. It's like so frowned upon. If somebody got aggressive, everyone in the place would be looking at you.
They're
like
at the
you're-
wrong spot.
Like you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, consumption's going to be good. I think, like you said, it's just we got to change some of the regulations on it. But
yeah.
I understand where they're going,
you
but they want to stay safe. Nevada's always been really up there on the strict side, and they want to be safe, and they want to make sure it's controlled and somebody's not getting too out of hand with it. But
Yeah, of course.
at the same time, if they can walk right out and go next door and go back to as much as they want to, I don't understand why we're limiting it inside the consumption.
So give the address for INYO. Let's get all the stuff there for our tourists and friends that are going to come out and check it out.
In Las Vegas, we definitely have cheapest prices in town. I'm just going to say it.
Do it.
You know what I mean? Locals, so we got to support the locals. But INYO Las Vegas, we're located at 2520 South Merlin Parkway. And that's Suite 2, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89109.
And then
that is
website.
So website is www.inyolasvegas.com. And the cross streets,
And
back to that.
Hold on.
What's
so
up?
you're your stoners. INYO.
Okay, I'll say it a little slower.
Spell it for the website.
www.inyolasvegas.com.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead. Now. Next.
All right, now we're good. And then the cross streets is going to be Sahara and Maryland. So that's just
Yeah.
about a mile off the strip. So if
yeah,
you're ever
not
tired
far
of that,
from the airport, meaning that if
Yeah.
you're getting off the plane, you're like, yo, let me get my shit real quick.
Yep. It's literally
Tell
just straight
'em,
up Maryland from
Take
the airport.
me to INYO.
You want to say it? INYO. Exactly
INYO.
like that. But yeah, no, we'll definitely take care of you. Like I say, fair prices, great menu, and a really good reward system. You got to check us out.
Shout outs to friends and family out there. Got any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to my mom, Cindy.
Yes.
Moms.
Always got to shout out to the mom if you can.
Yeah,
Or
you know, you gotta
or
say
in
what's up
trouble.
to
shout-
moms.
Now, why did you shout out to me? Oh, my God. Thanks, man, for coming on. And we look forward to maybe doing some more cool stuff with INYO and my buddy Lance here. And then until the next time, peace.
Take it easy. Peace.
See ya.